My beloved child. It's strange how you can be the one everyone talks to, and yet still feel like no one really hears you. They come to you for advice, for comfort, for reassurance. You nod. You listen. You offer your best wisdom. You carry their worries with grace. But when it's your turn to speak, not as a helper, but as a human, the moment passes. The subject shifts. The room grows busy. And the part of you that longed to be known quietly slips back into silence. You remember yesterday, or maybe it was last week. Maybe it happens every day. They came in with a story, full of emotion, needing to get something off their chest. You listened. As always. You gave them space. As always. And then there was a pause. A breath. A perfect opening for someone to ask, "And how about you? How are you really?" But the question never came. The moment passed. The door closed. And you smiled anyway. You've become the one people go to, but not the one people go into. They trust you with their burdens, but rarely stop to see what you're carrying. And over time, you've adjusted. You've trained your heart to stay quiet. Not because you don't feel, but because no one seems to ask. And I want you to know, beloved, I ask. I always have. I don't just see what you do. I see what you bury. I see what you hide beneath the strong face, the soft voice, the easy nod. I see the places in you that haven't been heard in years. And while the world may forget to ask, I never stop listening. What if your silence isn't a sign of strength alone, but of sorrow unspoken? What if I designed your heart not only to hold others, but to be held too? You were never meant to be just a listener. You were meant to be known. So let me ask you now, gently but clearly, when was the last time someone asked how you really feel, and stayed long enough for the answer? When was the last time you spoke without editing, without downplaying, without rushing to reassure? Today, I want to offer you something simple, but sacred. Find a quiet corner, a chair by the window, or even just your kitchen table. Sit for 5 minutes. Not to pray formally, not to prepare for anything. Just sit. And in your heart, let these words rise. Lord, here's how I really feel today. Then speak. Honestly. Slowly. Not like someone who's used to being strong, but like someone who is finally safe, because you are safe. With me, you don't need to hold back. With me, you don't need to stay small. You don't have to be the one who always listens. I am listening to you, so breathe. Be still and let your heart begin again, with one who never forgets to ask. My beloved child, you are present in the room, every day, every morning, every evening, and yet somehow, it's as if your heart has gone unnoticed. People see you doing. They see you sitting. They pass by and say, "Good morning," or "Can you help with this?" But no one pauses, looks into your eyes, and asks, "But how is your soul?" You go through the motions. You wash the dishes, sweep the floor, prepare the coffee just the way they like it. You smile when someone walks in. You nod at the updates, the complaints, the small talk. You're here. You're steady. But the longer the days go without anyone asking how you're doing inside, the more your heart begins to shrink into itself, not with anger, but with a quiet kind of sadness. Like being in a room full of people, but feeling like a shadow on the wall. You catch glimpses of their stress, their busyness, their plans, and you understand. You've always understood. You've always been the one to give more grace than you're given. But there's still this tender place in you that aches. Not for attention, just for acknowledgement. Just once. For someone to say, I see you. I care about you. Not what you do, but who you are. And how you feel. And here is what I want you to hear clearly. My child, I do ask. I do see. I do care. While others may grow distracted or unaware, I do not miss what they overlook. I don't just see the chores you do, I see the emotions you carry while doing them. I see when you smile outwardly but sigh inwardly. I see the weight behind your silence. I see the quiet question behind your faithfulness. Does anyone wonder what's going on in me? And I do. I've wondered. I've waited. Not because I need the answer, but because you need to be heard. You've been tending to everyone else's life while leaving yours untended. But you are not just the keeper of peace in this house, you are a soul that needs my care too. So let me ask you now, have you convinced yourself that your feelings are too small to matter? That because others don't ask, you shouldn't speak? What if their silence isn't your signal to hide, but my invitation to come into deeper honesty with me today? Do something sacred and simple. Write down just one sentence you wish someone had asked you this week. Something like, what's been weighing on your mind? Has anything made you feel lonely? Is there something you're not saying because no one's asked? Then answer that question, not to them, but to me. Whisper your response. Or write it. Let it be the beginning of a deeper rhythm between us. Because I ask what they forget to and I stay to listen when others move on, and my love isn't just for your hands, it's for your heart. My beloved child. Somewhere along the way, your strength became your silence. You've carried burdens with grace, responded with patience, kept things together when others couldn't. You've been steady, and because of that, people stop checking if you were okay. They assume you're always fine, that nothing shakes you, that you don't need to be asked, because you'll manage on your own, and you do manage. But you feel. Oh, how deeply you feel. You remember moments when you wished someone would notice the tiredness in your eyes, when your chest felt heavy, but no one saw the weight. When you answered, I'm okay, because no one paused long enough to ask again. You've learned to smile with your lips while hiding the ache behind your ribs. You've learned to make room for everyone else's needs, and to bury your own under the name of being strong. But let me tell you something you've needed to hear for a long time. Strength does not mean silence. Just because you carry it well does not mean it's not heavy. Just because you're reliable does not mean you're unbreakable. And just because others have grown used to leaning on you, does not mean you were never meant to be held. I see through the smile. I hear what isn't said. You are not a machine for holding others. You are my child, and even the strong need a place to lay their head. Even the strong need someone to ask, how is your heart? So let me ask you now, have you been confusing your silence with holiness? Have you believed that expressing pain would make you weak? or ungrateful? What if, instead, your honesty is the door to healing, not only for you, but for those who watch you? What if letting me into your pain is the most courageous thing you could do today? Let's start somewhere gentle. When you have a moment alone, in the kitchen, on your porch, before bed, place your hand over your chest. Breathe deeply. And ask yourself, what do I feel that I haven't told anyone? Then whisper it to me. No filters. No strength required. Just truth. Lord, I'm tired. Lord, I miss being seen. Lord, I want someone to ask me how I really am, and I will say, I just did, because you've been strong for everyone else. Now let me be strong for you. My beloved child, you've waited for someone to ask. Not because you needed to talk, but because you needed someone to want to know. You've carried your feelings like unopened letters, hoping one day someone would reach out and say, tell me everything. I'm here for the long answer. But most don't ask. Or if they do, they don't stay long enough to hear the truth beneath the polite response. You've watched conversations glide past you, people talking over each other, sharing their wins and their worries. And you're there in the room, quietly nodding, still present, still reliable, still invisible. You wonder if anyone notices how you've stopped volunteering how you really feel. You wonder if anyone notices that you need to be asked. Not because you want attention, but because asking means you matter. And here's what I want to say to you with all tenderness. I've been asking. I've never stopped asking. Every time your soul whispered, I wish someone would ask, I leaned in. Every time your eyes filled, and you blinked back the tears with no one around, I caught every drop. I never needed the words to know the truth. I never needed the noise to know your need. You've waited for someone to see past the surface. I always have, you see. The silence you feel isn't empty, it's filled with me. When no one else pauses, I stay. When others walk out of the room, I step closer. And when you're too tired to reach out, I'm already reaching in. Not to fix you, not to rush you, but simply to be with you, until the words come, or until they don't. So let me ask you, lovingly, have you been measuring my presence by the way people treat you? Have you assumed I am far because others forget to ask? What if their absence has only cleared the space, so you can hear me more clearly today? You don't have to open up to the world. Just open your hands. Sit with me in one quiet moment, no pressure, no performance. Say one sentence, Lord, I know you see me. That's all. Let the weight of that truth do the work. Let it move through the ache of feeling invisible. Let it find the part of your soul that's been waiting to exhale. Because I do see you, I've always seen you, and I don't just listen when you speak, I listen when no one else knows there's anything to hear. My beloved child, you've spent so much time listening to others that it almost feels unfamiliar to listen to yourself. You've grown used to deflecting the question, used to hiding behind I'm okay, used to swallowing your feelings whole, not because they weren't real, but because no one ever stopped long enough to really ask. But I have. And I will continue to. Now, I want to take you one step further. Don't wait to be asked. Start telling me what no one else thinks to ask. Begin sharing with me the things you've kept buried beneath duty and strength and silence. You might not know how to start. That's okay. Let me paint the picture for you. Imagine this, a small corner in your day. A chair by the window. A cup of something warm. And a quiet invitation. Not a formal prayer. Not a performance. Just you. And me. You sit down and say aloud, even if just in a whisper, Lord, here's something I've never told anyone. And then, slowly, you begin. Not to impress. Not to explain. Just to be real. It could be something from today, I felt invisible again at lunch. Or something from years ago, I still carry the grief of that goodbye. Or something you don't even fully understand, I feel restless. And I don't know why. I won't interrupt. I won't rush you. I won't judge you, I'll stay. I'll hold every word. And I'll respond, not always with answers, but always with presence. What if this became your new rhythm? Not just speaking when someone asks, but trusting that I've already asked. And I'm ready to listen, every day. What if you wrote down one sentence every morning that no one else will see, but that I receive like a treasure? So let me ask you now, are you willing to speak even if no one else is listening, because you believe that I am? Will you give your feelings a voice again? Not to be validated by others, but to be known by me today. Take one small step. Set a reminder on your phone. Create a note on your desk. Light a candle in your room. And when that time comes, pause and say, this is the moment I get to be fully honest. Then speak. Or write. Or just sit in silence and let your soul breathe again, because this is your sacred space, your inner room, and I am already there, waiting with love and no agenda. My beloved child, you've spent so long waiting for someone to ask, that you almost forgot, your feelings don't need permission to matter. They don't need to be measured by how others respond. The ache in your chest. The weight behind your smile. The quiet hopes that no one checks on, they are not invisible to me. You may still walk through rooms where people talk around you but never ask what's stirring in your soul. You may still hear "How are you?" delivered like a habit, not an invitation. But here's what I need you to know. And what I will never stop reminding you, I have been asking the whole time. I have been watching not just your hands, but your heart. I have been listening not only to your words, but to the silence between them. I have lingered beside you when others moved on. I have leaned in when others looked away. You never had to earn my attention, I gave it freely, fully, constantly. So let me ask you now, not with pity, but with delight, will you finally believe that you still matter, even when no one else asks? Will you let go of the fear that your emotions are too small, too late, too much, and instead rest in the truth that I hold every feeling like a sacred offering? Your tears are not wasted. Your loneliness is not ignored. Your desire to be known is not selfish. I placed that desire in you, not so the world would fulfill it, but so you would come closer to me today. When no one else asks, I want you to say aloud, Lord. Even when they don't ask, you still care. And let that truth soften you. Let it settle into the quiet corners of your heart. Because I do care. I always have. And I don't just ask how you're doing, I stay to listen to the answer. So don't wait for the world to check in. Come to me. Speak freely. Feel deeply. You are not too much for me. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are still here. And I am still listening.